and just everything. I truly appreciate you guys. So this clearly is a theme in the collective right now. So today, Spirit's really asked me to talk about something that has been twisted for centuries: heaven and hell. Not the religious fear story, but the truth. Okay, so remember, take what resonates, leave the rest. Always use your own discernment. Okay. And before you get too nervous, although I'm going to give you trigger warnings and disclaimers, right, as I always do with topics like this, but before you get nervous, the truth is a lot more empowering than what you might think and what you might have been taught, okay? So stay with me. This topic gets so twisted, right? And, heaven and hell were never meant to be places that you go after death. Right? They were meant to be states of consciousness, levels of awareness, frequencies. Humans turned them into threats and rewards to control behavior. Okay, Spirit never needed any of that, never intended any of that. Okay, so let's start with hell, because I think that's the one that's been probably weaponized the most. It's not some fiery pit ruled by a villain with a pitchfork, right? Hell is what happens when your inner world is disconnected from your truth. And you could be living this right now as we speak, okay? It's the heaviness of shame, of self-betrayal, fear, guilt, trauma, and being asleep. It's the life you live when you're cut off from your own light. Many people walk around alive, but living in hell every single day. That's the truth. Hell is not punishment. It's a frequency you fall into when you forget who you are. So now heaven, right? Heaven is not a gated community in the clouds, okay? It is what your life becomes when you are awake, aligned, honest with yourself, connected to source. It's peace. It's clarity. It's love without fear. It's your inside matching your outside, right? As above, so below. Heaven is the frequency of truth, of love. Heaven isn't a reward. It's a state of remembering. And religion got that wrong, right? And they needed it that way. They made it literal because a fearful mind is an obedient mind. If you scare people with eternal punishment, you control them, right? If you promise eternal reward, you can manipulate them. But Spirit has no need for obedience, only alignment, okay? And here's the twist they never told you. There is no external judge, okay? The only judgment that exists is the moment your soul is honest with itself. Because when you awaken, you have to face the truth of how you lived, right? So then hell is the avoidance. Heaven is the acceptance. So then, I asked, what happens then? Okay. What happens then after death, if that's the case? That's what most people would ask, right? Well, you go exactly where your frequency matches. There's no punishment. There's no reward, only resonance. You don't get sent anywhere. You rise or stay where your energy is. You meet the truth of who you are. Maybe that's why people are so afraid of it. And for some, that moment feels like heaven, right? But for others, it feels like hell until they integrate. And the real point of all of this whole thing we call Earth, is a school of remembering. You get to create heaven or hell right here. You get to choose your state, your frequency, your awareness. And this is where the saying comes in. This saying that came to me, choose your hard. Maybe you've heard this, right? And it's so true, because it's all hard in its own way, right? Healing is hard. Ignoring your truth is hard. Facing yourself is hard. Avoiding yourself is hard. One hard leads to heaven. The other hard keeps you in hell. Either way, you're choosing. Choose your hard. Your soul isn't waiting for permission or salvation. It's waiting for you to wake the F up. Heaven and hell aren't afterlife destinations. They're inner landscapes. And your soul is walking through one of them every single day. Choose consciously. Choose truth. Choose the frequency that feels like home. Sending you my love and healing, and I hope that helps.